Hi everybody, this is the Lucky TJ at Living Metaphysically and Discover the I Am Within. I just want to talk right now about a very important topic, and that is self-talk. Because your self-talk can defeat you if you allow it. You don't have to allow it, it's your choice. So I brought it up because earlier today I was talking with someone and they were telling me how they feel like a failure, and they have a real deep amount of energy on it. Like they exclaim in a very passionate voice, "I feel like a failure." And I'm not trying to mock the person, but I am making an effort to share how much energy that people put on, our world is a vibrational. We live in a vibrational universe. We live in a vibrational universe that responds to the things we feel mostly strongly. It's like a magnet. It's attractive. You'll try this, and you will see that it's true. But the fact that it's happening all the time by default, people don't take responsibility or they don't accept it and acknowledge it. So they say, well, my life is just what it is. Nothing I said or did or felt had anything to do with it. For whatever reasons. Maybe they believe in a deity that's commanding over their lives or things like that. But anyway, my point has more to do with knowing that self-talk is a huge part of how a person can make their lives better. For example, I was, and this is what made me think of it for myself. I have a couple of projects that I'd love to be able to get done and make happen. So one of the things is that I've been trying actually for a few weeks to get a part made for something, and I just came from the place just now trying to get the part made, and the lady is saying that I'm gonna get something 3D printed, and I got it printed before a few times, but it didn't fit properly, so I can't get this part anyplace else. And I did a lot of research to try to get the part. And so long story short is that I just came from the place and I can't do it until tomorrow. And I started thinking about how if I had only called over here earlier, well, I did call but no one answered the phone, but if I had come before lunch, then the person who could have printed it for me today would have still been there. And it reminded me of the feeling, I didn't feel a lot of frustration, but I thought about how in the past I would have gone there and said, oh, I feel like a failure, because I didn't get this part that could have been printed today. I'm not a failure. So this is what I coached and told my person, my friend, my dear person I love today, is that no matter what, no person is a failure. That self-talk, self-defeating, self-sabotaging, those ideas, they may be programmed into us to believe, but our essence is always, who we're born to be is love. Who we're born as can never be changed or shifted or separated from the truth of our being, which is that we are love and we are good. Even if people want to argue, oh, some people are just bad or all this, it isn't true. There's no such thing. So my point is to say that no matter what, it is the self-talk that can really hurt a person even more than talk from other people, because it's what's going on inside is shaping your idea about yourself. It's shaping my idea about myself. It's shaping how I feel about myself, whether I have high self-esteem, high confidence, or high self-value, high self-worth. It's the inner conversation that makes the biggest difference. And it's important to monitor it. It's important. It's important for you to to listen to yourself. It's important for me to listen to myself, for others to listen to themselves, because it's when we don't listen to ourselves, it's when we allow the negative self-talk that tells us a bunch of lies and bullshit. So the reason why I'm saying it also is because, it's just lies and bullshit. It's a lie. I'm not a failure just because I didn't get something printed today. My person who I talked with is not a failure just because they're going through some challenges. Nobody's a failure because of those things. Those things don't define us. They don't define me. They don't define you. They don't define anyone. No outer circumstance defines a person. It doesn't matter how good or how bad or what they did or what they didn't do, all that. The essence of a person is who they are. And we're born here to this planet as the essence of life itself, the essence of good. So if that's too much or too deep, well, I don't care. But if you can, any kind of way, use this information to help yourself to become more aware and more present to the self-talk. And whenever, if you are the kind of person, just like me, this is one of the techniques I use. When I hear, and trust me, I've had negative self-talk for years and years. So the reason why I'm even making this video is because it has taken me years and years and years and years to release, slowly but surely, by becoming more aware of it, all the lies. Not all, and maybe I may not even have all the lies, because I think that there are some of the lies that I still am in the process of healing and letting go of. But a person has to let oneself tell oneself the truth, catch the lie. So if I was going to sit and say, oh, first of all, I feel like a failure. So I may feel any old kind of way. That doesn't make me a failure, or doesn't make me that kind of way. And for me to listen to that without paying attention to it and hearing it and then stopping it and say, no, that is not the truth. So this is what I told the person. That is not who you are. And you have to tell yourself this. It is not the truth. It is a lie. So when I hear myself say something like that, then I tell myself, no, that is not the truth. So I nip it in the bud and I just say, no, 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 because that isn't the truth. And then I tell myself the truth. And that is, that doesn't define me. And then I feel better and I feel free. I was going to say one more thing. I'll tell you something else that's a really good tool, and that is expressing. Like, part of the self-talk and everything is part of expression. So it's important for people to become aware of what and how they're expressing, particularly when a person's expressing. And when I say expressing, I mean, like, how are you talking, sharing, speaking out loud, thinking, or doing other things, like whatever ways you express. Like, how are you doing that? How am I doing that? So I noticed that expressing helps me a lot, and it does help a lot of people, because that's a technique that people have been using for ages. People often have used when I say expressing, let me talk specifically and say talking about something, but also learning how to talk about it in a healthy way, and how to frame the telling of my inner insides, my thoughts and my feelings. It's one thing to tell, and then another thing to declare, and what you have energy on is what you have to be careful of. So the reason why I brought up the expressing is because expressing, for example, I don't know if you've ever been in therapy, group therapy, 12-step groups, any kind of meeting, just like going to a lecture, going to a motivational speaker, and then you ask questions. So the expression of what's going on with the person, an expression saying, when I tell somebody, hey, this is what's going on with me, that is a great way to reveal it. It's a great way for me to reveal it to myself, even if I say it out loud to someone else, or if I'm able to bring it up into my awareness, or if I'm writing it, and then to be able to know what way can I deal with this in a healthy fashion. So expressing is really a great way to help to heal, because once a thing is expressed, then, and hopefully it's expressed in a healthy way, then there's an opportunity to see what's there and then to do something about it. So I don't want to go on and on, but I did want to talk about this instance today. And my goal and reason for making these videos is just to share some of my story and some of the healing tools that I use every day that have helped me to be much more happy. I'm more happy, at peace, and centered, and I have more tools than I ever had in my whole life. And if anything that I can share with another person can help a person to shorten the distance between where they're at and where they want to be, or gives them a tool to be able to use to help them to see something and release something that's giving them pain, misery, or anything, though, that's really my goal. That's what I think I was actually put here on earth for. So with all that, I just want to say, if you have any questions, I'm going to leave my email into the description. Like and subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you. Peace out.